Bring 'em up, bring 'em up.
Not the same.
Bring 'em up, bring 'em up. Las Vegas, Nevada. I'll say it one more time. I don't care. I won't go to your state if you don't have In-N-Out. Eats it all day, all long.
Yum.
How many times since we've been out here?
Three in 2 days. Hey, welcome to another episode of This Is Our Normal Podcast. I am your host, Saul Jones. I'm sitting here with our audio engineer, Joel Cowan.
Hey, guys.
And my co-host, Brian Hoodie.
That's me.
Do not call him Sweatshirt.
Or whatever.
And our guest, it was a special guest to me. He was worked in treatment when I went to Solutions Recovery. He was a BHT out there. I literally cried when I left you. George Changpo. All right, so before we get started, I just want to remind everybody to go to our website at thisournormalpodcast.com. You can find everything you need to know about us. There's links to iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher, all that good stuff. You guys know the deal. Mainly, we want to thank everybody who's gone to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating, left us comments. We really appreciate it. And as always, these podcasts are brought to you by Serenity Sober Living down in South Orange County. We highly recommend this place. We have men's and women's sober living. Women's start up in August. And if you come there right now, I'm a house manager. You get to live with me.
Dude, we're trying to get them to come, not
Not
push them
deter.
away. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks a lot.
Hey, what's up?
As I call him, Jorge. You got your Dodger blue on today.
Yes, sir.
I'm
representing, man.
Loving it, man. Yep. Loving that shit. So, yeah, I think you're our third guest since we've been out here to Las Vegas.
Nice.
But you're always number one to me, man.
Oh, thank you, bro. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. Hella gay, but whatever.
Yeah, don't believe it anyways. He says that to everyone.
Does he really? Slut.
So I want to hear a lot from you. I want to start out.
Okay.
Do you have any sort of like? I like to start out light. Do you have a little funny story from either recovery or using, or just something simple but funny?
Yeah, I'm gonna touch up on some funny stuff,
Yeah,
man.
touch me.
I would
Touch
always
me with that funny stuff.
touching you right now, brother. Well, like with anything in your addiction, man, you just do some stupid shit.
Yeah,
like where do I start?
Hey, get up
Sexual
on that
or
mic.
non-sexual? Which one do you want?
Yes.
I thought he was a chick. No.
That's what they all say.
Let's go sexual.
Well, my wife's in the room, so I gotta kind of keep it G-rated.
We got Robin over there.
Keep it G-rated.
All right.
I did some stupid shit, man. I usually would have money and end up with no money, like overnight. You know what I mean?
Weird how that works.
Like a paycheck gone overnight.
Yeah.
And then try to figure out how to chase that, and I ended up doing some stupid shit to chase that, and then chasing that, and it just keep a full blown circle of
Hey, get up on that mic when you tell. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, oh yeah, there we go.
Is that better?
That's much better. Now I feel you in my ears.
Hoodie, what are you doing under your shirt, bro? What the fuck's going on over there, man?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's my shirt.
Hey,
keep your hands to yourself, man.
All right. At least you had someone out here that would play along with your shit. Because not too many people back home do.
I know. That's why I love these guys so much. Dude, tell me a little
Dutch
bit.
rudder.
Wow.
Come on, Eddie. Come on, man.
Hey, tell me a little bit about.
No, I want to hear your side of the story where Saul comes home naked.
Oh, okay.
All right, didn't come home naked, but what happened?
Let's get right into it. Okay, yeah. So I had a relapse. I talked about on here before.
Back in November.
November 6th. Yeah. And I went out. I had just graduated the program. I went out. I smoked heroin, and among every other drug possible, basically.
Celebrational heroin?
Yeah, basically. And I came back to Solutions, or Resolutions at the time. I sat down and pulled a chair in the middle of the lobby, and I was out there, and you walked by. You said, what are you up to, man? I said, being a fucking idiot. Mm-hmm. And you took me upstairs. So why don't you tell what happened from there? So
I noticed your behavior was kind of off, because you're always, happy-go-lucky kind of dude.
Oh, yeah.
And that day, your whole demeanor, I could just see it in your face, your eyes, everything.
Yeah.
And so that's when I asked him. I was like, "Hey, Saul, you okay, man? You doing all right?" And you were like, "No, man, I'm just." And I knew right away, because I knew immediately when how your your words came out. You were almost like ashamed of yourself.
I was, man.
He gets that,
Yeah, and it was, and when you see somebody like that, it hits home because it hurt me to see you that way. You were wounded, bro, and so we had to do a UA, obviously, and then so we go upstairs. We go upstairs, and we get to I start writing on the cup his name and all that on the label. And usually, what we say when it's a UA, it's this is going to be an observed UA.
Right.
I think he wanted me to observe something else because he stripped down like to his sock, like he took his socks off, man. And I already showed you how he was swaying back and forth. And the way he was swaying back and forth, like with his toes, like doing like
wiggling
from the front to the back,
noodle grooving.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
like
noodle grooving.
Like when a cop asks you to do your fingers count from 1 to 5, right, and then go back. I was doing that with my toes.
Yeah, and he was like staring, and it was kind of the weird. I don't know how he does with everybody else when he does UAs, but we locked eyes, bro, and it was like we locked souls.
Knows about that.
We locked souls with each other.
Oh, I've UA'd this guy a few times.
Oh, yeah. It was like an episode of Twilight. He fucking imprinted himself on me. I was like, what the fuck are you looking at, bro?
Lucky. Yeah, he never pulled that one with me, man.
No, really?
No, you're special. You're lucky.
Team Jacob, brother.
Team Jacob. Team Sawzall and Jorge.
So,
man,
then I asked
funny.
him, I said, what are you going to pop dirty for? And he was like, I'm not really sure. Man, he lit the whole thing up. Man. It was everything popped dirty, bro.
I failed that thing with flying colors.
Yeah,
I pissed
man.
a rainbow, bro.
Yeah. It was bad.
I was only out for 2 hours, man. I was out for 2 hours, and I did. Yeah, I mean, I did
out from the house
what was
for 2 hours.
Out from resolutions from the.
And you came back,
dude,
fucking hot for everything.
Yeah, I left from giving my speech of like, don't breathe in, breathe out, don't use between breaths, and then I walk away. I go immediately from there. I get my haircut.
Took my first breath, and then I used.
I got my free haircut from that chick I was hanging out with.
Yeah.
And then I went, and she was like, hang out with me. I'm like, I'm going to hang out with some friends actually instead. Went out, and boy, did I ever hang out with some friends.
Yeah. I don't know, but he was walking around with a bottle
established.
of piss in his backpack.
No.
And I didn't even know what the hell that was all about.
Okay, listen.
Hold on.
This looks suspicious as hell, but let me remind everybody, I am a mailman, okay? I piss in bottles when we're on the road. We were driving around in this truck doing drugs for so long, I pissed in the bottle. Well, I said to him, I said, test the piss, it'll be dirty too.
He did too. Yeah.
It wasn't.
No,
it was all dirty. It was all so bad. But dude, the way that you handled me and made me feel, I didn't feel judged. I felt honestly nurtured, like you did see a wounded, animal. Comrade. And you picked me up, man. You took me up there. You were like, everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna get you straightened out, and you guys did. And it started with you, and I appreciate that, man, because it's so easy at that point to just be like, fuck it all, and run off, and that's what I wanted to do.
Sure.
But you nurtured me back in, even when I'm doing my wild, crazy, getting butt naked shit, you worked with it,
I did.
And you guys really took care of me, and then I got straightened out. I haven't used since that day.
That's cool,
man.
bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's about compassion, man. I mean, I've been there, bro. I relapsed 4 good times before I took it serious.
Yeah.
And a lot of people believed in me. That was like the key factor in my recovery at the very beginning of my recovery.
You're fine.
Why are you mad?
He was saying to talk directly.
And here, gotcha. So I had a lot of a good support system.
Okay.
And so to me, that was a very important way of looking at a relapse. Is if you have a good support system,
right?
You have people that believe in you, not judging you for your bullshit, man. That helps you spring back into your recovery faster than not having anybody.
Super important.
Absolutely. My family, I've been lucky. A lot of families tend to, because of the stigma on addiction, because of how everything's looked upon so negative, when we come out and say, hey, I'm an addict, a lot of families tend to kind of abandon some of their family members. But I've been so lucky, man. My family stood behind me the whole time. Good. Everything was new for them too, taking somebody through treatment and dealing with their end. So I had to recognize, look, they're going to be new at this, I'm going to be new at this, and we all just kind of did it together. I've had such a huge support system, so when I have fallen, then I've had great friends like Hoodie. You know, he was my first house manager, and
Nice.
and he's been there when I've fallen. He's picked me right back up, and it's, for me, the important thing, like you said, because of that support, when I've fallen, I've been able to get up so quick, and just and the recovery, you know, even though the disease progresses and when we go back to it, it's gotten worse for me each time, but the recovery's progressed too. You know, I didn't lose any of my recovery, so I got back up, boom, just jumped right back into it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you did great when you admitted to the whole meeting. That 7 o'clock meeting.
Oh, that's right.
When he stood up, and I was not surprised, or, you know, I shouldn't even really use the word surprised. I was more it spoke volumes about who you are, man, and it put an impression on me.
Yeah.
Not only you, Saul, but
Yeah.
just the whole program helped me remember who I was and where I was at one point, and, you know, how I was dealt with. You know, I mean, I had other shit facing me if I didn't get straight anyway.
Yeah.
But having that support system and having the right people. I had a counselor that was through Salvation Army. It was a IOP program.
Oh, that program, that Salvation Army program, the people I know that have gone through there, they stay sober, man.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, for the most part. Right. And I don't know how the staff is now, but their staff, when I was in there, they were very, very compassionate, man. They really understood, and they kind of put it in terms to which either you want it or you don't.
Right.
You know, the consequences in that program for me were prison.
Right.
You know, so they gave me like 4 good chances. That last time I relapsed was that last straw that the judge was. You know, she was upset at that time. Because you know how we are. We manipulate people.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah,
and we're masters of manipulating, you know, our parents.
Yeah.
You know.
It's our survival tactic. You know?
Pretty much. As long as you can get high, that's you know, that's your lifeline.
Absolutely.
So that's all I knew back then. It's I knew how to manipulate people.
Yeah. You know, Hoodie had hanging over his head some charges too when you got sober, right, man?
Yeah, I mean, nothing major this time around, to be honest, but I was fucking over it. I just didn't want to go through that shit anymore. And they all those charges kind of acquired while I was already trying to get into treatment. So I was already in the mindset like I'm over this shit. You know?
Yeah.
So kind of a little bit
gets old,
different.
Right?
Yeah, it definitely gets old, man.
Yeah. So what was it like working at a treatment center? You know, walk me through kind of the pressure of being responsible for all these, you know, addicts, and we're all so easily can fall off, especially at that point in our recovery. We're so new at everything, and you're kind of responsible for them, and you did such a great job handling us all and not showing any stress to me. So, you know, was that, were you holding any of it in, or how?
Yeah, a lot of it you have to kind of suppress, you know, and not show too much attachment to patients.
Yeah.
We call them patients or clients. Patients.
Residents. Junkies. Fucking drug addicts.
Scumbags. You know, but at the same time, though, you know who you connect with. You know, obviously you and I had a deeper connection than just, you know, a work relationship with somebody that I'm, you know, looking over. Having to, you know, be compassionate a little bit more than the others. That's not how it works. You just have to kind of adapt to what type of relationship you can have with certain individuals.
Yeah. And it's hard though, man. For me at least, I struggled with that as a house manager, because when you spend months of your life living with these people, taking them to this, and you're watching them go through their recovery, and they're also part of yours. I mean, you can't help but establish some relationships and make some friends with these people. And you know, Saul was one for me as well. That was my problem though, working in treatment, is that some of these kids would come in and I'd get close with them. Yeah. Even though they tell us not to, but it's like, how the fuck can you not sometimes? Yeah. And then, like, especially the youngsters, they leave, they go out and they die. And I feel like I failed them, and it really fucked with my head. So that's why I don't work in treatment anymore.
We had that one in particular, and we've talked about him on here before. He was close to so many of us because he was such a good kid and he was so young, Trip Miller. And we, you know, and he, actually, I forgot about that. The one at our place too, that he took his own life, you know, and I don't know how you guys have handled that so well, because again, I can see that it hurts at the time, but you guys have been able to be so professional with us when you've taken these losses, and at the same time still made such a strong connection. How do you balance something like that?
You know, you really don't. I mean, your heart, it pulls your heartstrings, man. You know, you just have to learn how to, I guess with age, bro, like really in all reality, you're, you know, the more you mature, the more you learn how to handle things like anything in life. You know, I've learned a lot of who I am today because of who I used to be. Yeah. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be who I am right now.
Right.
You know? Right. And so I take those particular ways of thinking in life to place that into where I need it. My emotions, my relationships, with my kids, with my wife. You know, anything that I have to do that where my heart is involved.
Right.
I know how to, you know, suppress certain feelings and take some home with me. And of course, like with in recovery, there are people that let you down. Yeah. You know, and there's gonna be people that you worry. When you leave, I used to stay. Sometimes I stay a little late and talk to whoever, like in the room. Yeah, all the time. I'd go to his room and I'd talk to him. And
we'd hang out. Yeah,
and I'd be like, "Saul, you're good, right?"
Yeah,
I'd be like, yeah. Remember that time you passed out?
Which time?
In front of where the main annex. You were standing outside and and you were kind of standing there. And one of the girls ran up to the main office and she was like, "Help, help!"
That wasn't me.
That was you, man. Oh, no, that wasn't you. Was that the other guy?
Danny. Danny passed out.
That was Danny. My bad.
Dude, he did that a couple times. See, everybody mixes us up because all white guys look the same, you know. Right. But people would always mix me and Danny up because we dressed the same. We literally wore each other's clothes, and we were together 24/7.
But weird.
He was cool, dude.
It's a little weird.
Cool dude.
Shared underwear, literally.
Yeah.
No, he was a good dude. I still keep in contact with him. Man. But yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
That was Danny.
Yeah, I ran over there and I was freaking out. I was like, you know, but man.
See, things like that, man. You get an emotional attachment to certain.
Yeah.
Oh, so, you were lucky to have had someone like him checking in on you.
Oh, for sure.
The shit like that really makes you, just like you were saying in the beginning, you know, having feeling like you're wanted and loved and just the support. I mean, it's huge.
Oh, so anyways, I want to know, what I like to know is what people, because we always have to get sober for ourselves, right? Or it just won't work. But what are some things that you want to get from your sobriety or that you already have? I know you just got married and you have kids, you know, what are some things that you want out of your sobriety?
You know, to actually follow through on some goals, man. Yeah. You know, because before I would always just procrastinate things and just kind of put it off. You know how it is.
Samesies.
But now I actually have a plan of attack, so to say. You know, and I do see my long-term goals being accomplished because of how I live today. Right. You know, I've really, in all reality, man, I've never really learned or knew how to live. Yeah. Not learned, but knew how to live sober and with a plan of attack in life. You know,
all we've ever done is focused on getting and using. Yeah. You know, right. And it's so different when we come back into the. I don't want to call it the real world, but like the world that most of society lives in. And then we're trying to function.
The real world.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to function in this, and we've taken our only coping mechanism away of using, and now we just don't. We feel out of place, but we still want all the things that everybody else gets. You know, the families, the friends, the relationships, the jobs. Yeah. You know, and how have you been successful in your sobriety? Because I know you've gotten a lot of that.
I've learned how to shift my my energy to just stay positive, man. Yeah. You know, and I've kind of learned a little bit more in my later years to how to cope with you know, anger, depression, you know. There's really nothing now that I'm not depressed, man. I'm happy, you know.
You're always fucking happy.
Yeah, dude, and that's how it is. And you know, like I always kind of put out that you get what you put out, man. Yeah. You know, and if you let negative energies come into your circle, man, you're fucked, bro. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't even invite that shit, man. We don't even watch like what is that fucking Black Ink Crew with all the fucking fighting? I mean, fuck that,
you
man.
don't?
People fighting on TV, no, bro. Kidding. Like it's all bullshit, man.
Yeah.
So like we always watch happy shit, you know what I mean? And shit that's gonna make me laugh, and
it's what you put in your subconscious.
Yeah, bro. And just what you let into your circle, man. Yeah. And not like when I'm talking about circle, like, you know, friends and family, like your own circle, right? Yeah. You know. Yeah. If it's negative, bro, I just, you know, and that's not for me. Not today, at least. Right. You know.
Yeah, I think it's so important to kind of, we have to like change, at least for me, I had to change everything about myself. Yeah. And to do that, I had to take away a lot of the things that I liked before, like even, you know, TV shows or something that had a lot of drinking or drugs. Drinking's not really my thing, but drugs, you know, and it made me feel when I'd watch these shows like I got that little itch.
Uncomfortable, yeah.
Yeah, it's so strange. I mean, it sounds weak when somebody that has never suffered from this before hears that. It sounds weak, like, oh, you can't even watch a show and control yourself, but it's not. the willpower and stuff doesn't come from the same spot that the disease is coming from. And so it's important that we change these things because we know that's a trigger for us or something. And for me to be able to take some of that away has removed some triggers out of my life.
Yeah,
just kind of like going on a diet for the brain.
Yeah, exactly like that, man. Exactly like that. Does hey Robin, do you want to jump on for a minute?
She said
I see a no.
No. Robin took care of me every time I need to see any of the doctors or anything, man. Drop of the hat, she got me in. She's wonderful. You got a good girl there, man. I feel bad for her being with you.
Got him.
So when you first got engaged, you remember it was around Thanksgiving-ish, right?
Yeah,
and they were doing that talent show, and somebody signed me up to do stand-up.
Right.
And I came in, and one of my bits that I did, because you and Dave had both just got, Dave the PhD, had both just got engaged, and I said, George and Dave just got engaged. Not to each other, but they both got engaged.
Yeah.
And I said, I feel bad. I got to break the news to you guys. 50% of marriages end in divorce. So one of you guys is fucked.
Oh, man.
And I said, I have a question because, I've gotten a DUI. They suspended my driver's license. At what point do we suspend people's marriage licenses when they have 4 or 5 different divorces, man?
What a douche.
Yeah. You probably had a few people triggered there, so.
Oh, I've triggered myself, man. I'm divorced. But
yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that became official out there. I think you FaceTimed my ex-wife when we were out there. Didn't everybody did? I would
Did it really?
Yeah, we're still really good friends, so
Oh.
she'll FaceTime. She was checking in on me constantly while I was out there to make sure I was
okay,
okay. And when we were going through the divorce, actually, one of my roommates was good with like all that paperwork and stuff. So I thought, he'll help me out. No,
was it the tall kid?
Yeah,
Tall,
yeah.
kid? Yeah.
He's on FaceTime with her, working through her paperwork to help her.
Man.
No, it was fine. It helped us both out, but it was just funny, just the connection. She goes, Saul has this need to be friends with everybody so bad that he's friends with my boyfriend.
This is true, actually.
This is the
Oh, it's
truth.
true?
I know about this.
Yeah.
It goes back quite a while.
Yeah, I'm friends with her.
Wow.
boyfriend. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy, and me and her have stayed friends since the end. It's because we grew up together.
That's
basically,
cool, man.
and
Yeah.
so we've been able to. I'm trying to get her to come on sometime, and we'll
Nice.
see about that. But yeah. Dude, I appreciate you coming on the show. Do you have anything that you want somebody to hear? Somebody that's hesitant about going into treatment and just doesn't know how to go about it. What would you recommend to them?
Well, they gotta want it, man. It's all about what you want in your heart. You want to get sober. You want to stay right. You want to live right, man. You gotta want that shit, man.
Yeah.
You can't just you can't do it for like you said, man. You can't do it for anybody else but yourself.
Yeah.
Man. And then as like for me.
Yeah.
Like I was praying to get caught, bro. Like at the end, like I was getting tired of having to hide, and I had shit going on that I had.
It gets stressful. It becomes
Bro,
overbearing.
like I was hotel surfing, man. I was fucking staying.
Oh shit.
Yeah, bro. Like I couldn't because people were like towards the end of my addiction, I got into some serious shit to where detectives were looking for me.
Oh my gosh.
So like people that knew that the detectives were looking for me, they were trying to set me up in a way like, hey, where are you?
Right.
And I'd be like, why? What does it matter? Oh, hey, you want to go meet somewhere? And so
was
that's
this
how
the
I knew
meth
like
talking, or was
no,
this
it
real
was,
people?
It was real people. Man.
Really?
Yeah, it was real
Shit,
people.
man.
So then towards the end, when I was like couldn't trust anybody, bro, I was staying at the Palace Station.
Oh shit.
And one night I like. Just like we're sitting here, I just sat in the room and I was like, God, take this away. I'm tired of running and hiding.
Yeah.
And sure enough, man, February 22nd of 2010.
Shit.
I got busted, bro.
Oh shit.
And I'll never forget, man, because that's a life-changing event for me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So now every February 22nd, I use that as a positive factor in my life. Got married February 22nd.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Fucking cool, bro.
See, that's part of retraining our thoughts and our cognitive behaviors, because I've learned in recovery that a lot of us will relapse around the same time each year, and we don't know why. And then when you dig deep through like therapy, I've found like, I relapsed this time of year because this happened this time of year, and it plays in my head whether I'm thinking about it or not.
Right.
And from what I've learned from other addicts, it's the same thing for them as well.
Yeah.
And so to take that time time, which was a shocking, hard time for you, and change it to that time of years when you do something positive. That's genius, man.
222, man.
That's genius. Hell yeah, man.
And it's a good feeling, man. And we had planned to get married at a different date. It was like before February, and I was like, you know what? Why not 222?
Yeah.
I mean, my life changed for the better since that date.
Yeah.
10 year going on it'll be 2000
10 years coming up, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. 10 years in a row?
Yeah. Well, my clean date is my clean date is December 2nd, 2010.
Oh, okay.
That's my clean date, but
shit, man.
But it all started February of that year,
right?
When everything just started kind of crumble but rebuild.
Yeah, well, that's what it takes, right? Sometimes you gotta blow the building up before.
Like, why the fuck is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Well, why? Because the end result, in the end, you'll thank him later,
right? Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, for myself, it feels like some of the darkest, scariest times. Like when I went into treatment, I found out at the same time too that I no longer had a place to live after being in treatment. Basically, the only thing I had left was my job at the time. And at first, to me, it was like a big, like, shocking blow. And I was like, I totally understood why I couldn't go back to the place I had to live. It would be way unfair to those people, I was such a mess. It would not be right to them. But I in my heart, everything was crumbling around me. I was miles away from my family, hours away from my family.
Did you admit that it was all your shit though?
Right away.
Really?
Right away. Yeah.
See, I wasn't like that, man. I would blame everybody else but myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I was going through it, a lot of the times I would cover it up with like it's this person's fault or this person's, right. But I knew inside, like when I was alone with myself, I knew I was like, I'm fucking all this up. And it was pretty quick to, once I hit treatment, like once I got there, I was really open outside as well. Like this is all me,
Yeah.
But those dark times where like everything crumbled, and then I realized, well, this is actually opportunity, because now I can go live anywhere I need to, anywhere I want to go. I can live there. I can do anything I want. I thought about moving out.
Keep your mind open like that, man. And I'll tell you, you opened a lot of doors for yourself. Man.
It did immediately, man. It did, and I got lucky. I came into sober living this time. And a lot of that was from doing the sober living at where you worked, at Resolutions. It was like going through that made me realize sober living is actually a great place. I saw how it was rehabilitating people, giving them jobs,
right.
and giving them opportunity to go to these jobs. And it's just, man, it's changed my life. And you were a part of that, man.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, and it's an honor to come out here and see you, man. And
thanks.
Man. What a blessing to see what you're doing, bro. Like this
you.
I would have never thought, man. A fucking mailman, a fucking Jewish mailman doing this shit.
Jewish mailman, he said.
Oh shit! But yeah, man. I just stay positive, man. Just keep everything, expect a lot of yourself for the better. You know what I mean? Because you can produce.
Yeah. It's another thing that helped me is like being comfortable with what I have, and just grateful for what I have. But then I still strive for better each day, and it's helped me to be comfortable with myself, but still be able to go get more, I was lucky enough. I found Joel. He knows how to do all this computer stuff, and he had a lot of this gear. And so, I had this podcast idea. I've been for years. I mean, I was talking about it at Rezo, and Joel had the gear and told me, let's do it, man, and so we just started doing this. What
an example, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool, because you were talking about, I remember you talking about that. And
he was talking about that before he even came out to Vegas.
But see, isn't that amazing?
Of course, he was high, but
I was high at the time, so that was the problem.
I just truly believe in what you can manifest out of your thoughts, man. If you can manifest something positive in your life, man, that's just gonna happen.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah,
absolutely,
for sure.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I want to thank you for coming on, man. Okay. And we'll close this one out. Again, everybody go to our website, thisournormalpodcast.com, and leave us comments and ratings on iTunes. I know George left us one. It was beautiful, man. Your comment.
I think I read that one. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. But as a matter of fact, both these guys sitting in these two chairs here have left comments on there that really touched me. Really touched me.
You really know how to
hey, that's not my
feelings going.
But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joel, my audio engineer over there.
Thank you, Saul.
Thank you, George, for coming on. I appreciate it,
George.
buddy. And we're going to be played off by Agent Papa. Take us away.
Hey, little Sandy, what you got in that sack?
getting tough, like you ain't coming back. Hey little Sammy, when are you going to fly? Times are